government is coming under intense pressure to drop its planned amendments to the Cybersecurity Act after several provisions in the draft bill were flagged as serious threat to rights and freedom, particularly free speech. The bill, which is currently undergoing stakeholder consultations, is sponsored by the Communications Ministry with the aim to safeguard the cyberspace and prevent abuses. But even before the bill is finalized and presented to Parliament, its contents are drawing sharp public criticism. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent and member of our Legal Affairs Desk, Kwekwa Sante, joins me in the studio with a copy of this bill and some of these provisions which have been flagged. So, Kwekwa, take us through the bill and the concerns being raised.
So, for instance, if you look at section 67(4)(a) of this proposed bill, it says that a person shall not use any online computer service or any other electronic device to track the location of another person without the consent of that person. So, for instance, when Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa was tracking President Akufo-Addo's travels across the world, that will have attracted sanctions. In fact, it's a jail term that it proposes. And then again, it says that a person shall not create a false identity online or a fake social media profile for the purposes of following an adult where the contact is unacceptable. Again, some people have raised concerns about the fact that people are able to use pseudonyms and other things on social media, and that should not be criminal. If also you look at certain parts of the bill, it talks about a person shall not use an electronic device or medium to deliberately spread false or misleading information with the intent to deceive or manipulate a person or a fact. That also comes with a fine of 5,000 penalty units to 25,000 penalty units. And mind you, a penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis, but also a prison term of 3 to 5 years or both. There are similar set sections in the law, and social media has been awash with comments, people talking about how this bill is so intrusive and actually goes against the rights of so many people.
Let's go on the phone lines now and speak to IMANI, Africa's Vice President for Innovation and Strategy, Selorm Branttie, for his perspective on this. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time on the Midday News. We do know that this bill is still undergoing what the ministry calls stakeholder consultation. Do you share the view of the minority that it must be shelved?
Yes. So basically, I would say that this is just one of quite a few bills or drafts or amendments that are a slew of some of these that are being considered for amendment or for passing or drafting for passing within this that we have gotten to word of within this the last week or so. And we are looking at sweeping changes to the current digital infrastructure in terms of the people who should partake in it, as well as those of us who are consumers of social media or digital media. And it is therefore very important that we really look at what we as users or we as people who communicate on a daily basis have the right to do vis-a-vis the government's responsibility to also ensure security, law and order. And what we believe is that a lot of the lecturing for the cybersecurity bill, for example, is ambiguous in terms of the kinds of offenses that they are being talked about, that are being discussed, and the ramifications for you being seen as contravening some of these offenses make this draconian, make this unsuitable for the current day and age and society that we have, because you are looking at things that would either be minor or major and bottling it up into just one category and then criminalizing all of it. There are instances where people create secondary social media accounts or secondary digital identities, not because they want to stalk someone, but it could be interpreted as so. There are a lot of us who have what we call backup accounts that they can sometimes use to make commentary. And sometimes even because of, by virtue of where you work and all of that, you might not be at liberty to be making certain statements. And therefore, people use some of these backup accounts for things like that. But that is not even the core. The core of it is that it is a dangerous thing to have laws like this, or some of the stipulations in laws like this, dictating what should be the government's response or the security apparatus' response to some of these things that happen digitally, because in the wrong hands, this could be used to abuse the personal rights of many individuals and could be used to target people perceived as political opponents or people perceived as not liked by anybody who is in authority.
Selorm Branttie, IMANI Africa's Vice President, thank you for your time.